Everyone, I'm Dino Bidala, and welcome to tonight's Dino Bidala Show on Sirius XM. It's Monday, June 21st. Let me just start out by saying today would be a great day to arrest Donald Trump. I know what you're thinking, every day. Yes, every day, but today. And maybe every day I will begin this show that way until he's actually arrested. Although there is something frightening here. I want you to picture this. January 2023. Speaker of the House, Donald J. Trump. Speaker of the House, Donald J. Trump. You're probably fighting the urge to puke right now. It's understandable. You're a patriotic American. You're disgusted by the idea of a man who incited an act of domestic terrorism, which is what FBI Director Christopher Wray called January 6th. A man who was incited an act of domestic terrorism would be third in line to be president. But this is what the GOP now, at least Trump world, is pushing. And before you dismiss this as some kind of crazy pipe dream, or I'm just saying this to get you upset, they are more and more talking about it. It began with Steve Bannon, who floated the idea. I think a lot of us dismissed it as a joke. Last week, Donald Trump was on conservative radio talking because he's a terrorist, and they have an open terrorist on conservative radio because they've rejected America as they've embraced terrorism. And they asked Donald Trump about being speaker, and he said, I found it, quote, very interesting. Then on last Thursday, Matt Schlapp, the head of CPAC, or the organization that runs CPAC, and a man very close to Donald Trump, again floated on Newsmax to the audience of Trump supporters, Donald Trump as Speaker of the House if they win the midterm in 2022. And by the way, you don't have to be a member of Congress to be Speaker. Anyone can be elected Speaker by that chamber. So it's plausible. The very next day on Friday, Kevin McCarthy, the House GOP leader in the House, was on Fox News and was asked point blank about it. The idea of Donald Trump as Speaker. What did Kevin McCarthy say? Well, I've spoken to Donald Trump, and he's mentioned he wants to be Speaker. That's right. Kevin McCarthy confirmed Donald Trump wants to be Speaker. Then after a little firestorm, Kevin McCarthy's spokesperson, not Kevin McCarthy, walked that back saying, no, Donald Trump wants to be president. Kevin McCarthy's a serial liar. So what we know is that there are people in Trump world who are saying they want him to be Speaker of the House. Now, I think they sincerely want him to be Speaker. But part of it might be a strategy. It's the idea of getting the base worked up on the Trumpers to come out, and he's virtually on the ballot, and they're going to come out and vote for him. What they don't get, I think, is that they're giving us the biggest gift I can ever think of. Because of the idea of that if the Republicans win the House in 2022 and they make Donald Trump third in line to be president, a man who as Speaker will begin impeachment proceedings of both Joe Biden and Vice President Harris day one, hoping to remove them both so he can become president. And apart from that, think about the uptick in violence by Trump supporters directed at Vice President Harris and President Biden, knowing that if they're removed by the Presidential Succession Act, Donald Trump becomes president. I'm sure they're well guarded, and I have great confidence in the Secret Service, but they'll be dealing with threats they never thought of. And that's how dangerous it would be. So do I think Trump wants to be Speaker? Of course. Think about it. He could be third in line to be president. His name's not actually on the ballot, so he doesn't have the humiliation of losing another election. And he gets all the media coverage that he's been craving. It's a win-win for him, and he can use it to run for 2024. So I think that they mean this. I don't think it's just to try to get their base going. But let's look at it politically. Here are two parts of this. One is the visceral reaction, where you might be thinking, are you kidding me? Exactly my reaction. Now let's look at intellectually here. Donald Trump left office with the lowest approval rating of any president in the history of polling. I'm not kidding. That's not an exaggeration. Quinnipiac polling said that. He had a 34% approval rating, the lowest of any person in the time of scientific polling leaving the White House. His disapproval was over 60%. The time he left, nearly 60% of Americans did not want him to run for office ever again, who thought he should never hold office ever again because they're patriotic Americans. They understand a terrorist attack when they see it. And one other thing. Exit polling in 2020, while not the most accurate because a lot of people didn't vote in person, showed over 50% of the people who voted for Joe Biden were doing so because they came out to vote against Donald Trump. The idea of Donald Trump being on the ballot, even virtually, actually might be the biggest gift that we needed on our side. And I think at some point, the GOP is going to catch on that it actually helps us more than them, and they're going to walk this back. We can't let them. I think we have to use this effectively. I think it will It's a plausible fear. It's not one that's a myth. It's not like Sharia law is coming to America or critical race theories can destroy this country. This is real. If they win the House, I can assure you there will be talk of making Donald Trump Speaker. And if he wants to be Speaker, the GOP caucus will vote for him over Kevin McCarthy. I have little doubt because they love Trump. They think he is their ticket to the promised land. And it's something we have to talk about to our base. We have to talk about to people who are not in our base, who despise Donald Trump, and play the clips of Kevin McCarthy on Fox News where he said, Trump has spoken to me and says he wants to be Speaker. Donald Trump saying, I find it very interesting. Steve Bannon saying he wants him to be Speaker. Matt Schlapp saying he wants him to be Speaker. And I'm sure other Republicans as well will repeat this over and over again. This is what we need. This gets our base out. Midterm elections are all about turnout. I know every election is about turnout, but midterm especially because you're talking about often a turnout area of 45 to 50%. It's not like a general election. This is what we need. And I think we have to talk about this over and over and over again. They've given us something we needed to get people up, angry, and ready to vote. I know it's a long way away. It's a little over a year away. I won't let you forget it. We'll keep talking about it just like January 6th. And think about the commercials running with the idea of Donald Trump being Speaker. I can just see it. It's a picture of, it's video of Trump on January 6th talking about we're going to go down there and fight. Talking about literally quotes like, and I'll read some quotes. I can see the video now saying that we are stuck with a president who lost the election by a lot. We're just not going to let that happen. And the Democrats are trying to steal the White House. You cannot let that. Those are exact quotes he made on January 6th, followed by him saying, and we're going down to the Capitol together. And then showing Trump supporters beating up the police, beating up the polls and bear mace, and chanting, hang Mike Pence and building gallows. And then the voiceover, as you see all of this, is that, and now the Republicans want the man who incited a terrorist attack on that chamber to be the head of that chamber, Donald Trump. Vote Democrat to save America. The ad writes itself. They've given us something we need, and we have to use this as much as possible. We'll talk about that much more on the show tonight. My show's live 6 to 9 p.m. on SiriusXM, as is every night during the week. If you don't subscribe to SiriusXM, go to the website. There are free trials right there. And subscribe, get a free trial. My show's on channel 127, Progress. Join us, call in, be a part of our family. Look, if you want progress, you have to stay active. The stakes are really high. It's not over. You can see it. Thanks for tuning into the preview of tonight.